Welcome to another episode of AERIUMTV. We've created a really useful video this week that will help you take actual photographer-grade photos with a low-end camera. Now, before we get started, let me go ahead and clarify what I mean by a bad camera. There is no way in the world you'll ever be able to take good photos with a $20 phone or a $30 tablet. In fact, in order for this video to be of any use to you, you will need a camera with at least 7 megapixels, autofocus, and the SNAPSEED app installed. Yes, after you finish following our shooting tips to take some decent photos, we'll be using the SNAPSEED app to make them even more amazing. In this video, I'll be using a Blue Life 1X, second generation, which is a $150 budget smartphone. First, we're going to go outside to show you some tips to take good photos. We recommend that you take your camera outside also, so you can follow along. Most of the photos will be of pretty easy to find subjects. Now that we're outside, let me show you a few tricks for taking good photos. First, always focus in as many ways as possible. It's not always best to focus on the subject you want to be the sharpest. Doing so will sometimes make the entire picture appear dark or even blurry. Instead, focus around the subject and on the subject from various distances to find what looks best. Second, look for a Pro mode in your camera options. For my particular camera, the most useful feature of the Pro mode is a saturation setting. As you can see, because cheap cameras sometimes take washed out photos, this setting can help some. Third, take more macros. As a general rule, cheap cameras perform the best with close-up shots. Fourth, lighting. Always take pictures in optimal lighting conditions. Never take pictures when the sun is behind the clouds. Pictures always look better when the sun is shining directly on the subject. You can see this when comparing between this picture and this picture. Most important of all, trial and error. You'll probably have to take about 10 or 20 pictures of the same subject to find one that actually looks decent. Don't snap one photo and then move on. Keep patient and use the tips I mentioned to take the best possible photo. We will be doing some editing later on, but the best way to make sure the finished photo looks as good as possible is to make sure the original looks as good as possible. Let's go ahead and open up the SNAPSEED app. Tap the photo that you wish to edit. The first thing you should do when editing any photo in SNAPSEED is use the brush filter. We're going to use the saturation brush. We're going to go ahead and tap the eye so we can see what we're doing. We will use the brush to make the colors in the background more vivid. You can see what effect this has taken after turning off the eye filter. Now we will make the saturation of the leaf itself more vivid. As you can see, this looks much better. We'll go ahead and apply this effect. Remember, using the saturation brush is the first thing you should do with any picture you take using a cheap camera. Because, like I said, cheap cameras don't normally have very vivid photos, this effect can help a lot. The next thing we're going to do is apply a lens blur. By using a lens blur, we can give the implication that we zoomed in with optical zoom on this leaf. By using this filter, we can create a pleasing blur effect in the background. We will adjust the range to fit the leaf. We want to make sure that the leaf is completely clear and the background is nice and blurry. We can adjust the blur strength, transition, and vignette. We recommend that you always turn the vignette setting all the way down. You can also adjust the transition settings. Let's go ahead and apply this. Now we can go ahead and save the photo. When you pull down the notifications shade, you will see a notification that says processing photo. This may take a few minutes or a few seconds. Now we can go ahead and see that the photo is saving. The photo has saved and we can go ahead and look at it. As you can see, this photo looks very nice. It's sharp and has a nice blurred background, and it's very vivid.